Well, we are back for another episode, you guys. It's about that time. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. We already got two teams in both sports that have punched their ticket to those finals. We got the World Cup literally around the corner. We got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a quicker episode, but we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of excitement building up in the city as, summer, the warmer weather has finally started to show up. The draft is getting closer. The World Cup is literally about to be in Toronto. It's kind of crazy that that is even happening. Canada will be playing some games here. But nonetheless, it is quite an exciting time. But right now it is that lull in between the big stuff and a lot of the fun stuff. The other night, the New York Knicks punched their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. Stephen A. Smith and all of New York and all those Knicks fans were able to rejoice and be glad that they finally have been taken to the promised land with Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and the rest of that team. What are you guys' thoughts on the Knicks punching their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999?
I don't know what to say. Maybe it is James Harden. I don't know, man. Like, they get swept. Wasn't close in any game, I don't think. Basically, everything I said last week, just throw that out the window because none of that happened. They didn't mismatch with the bigs. They just kept going Harden. It's like, man, I get it. You used to average 35 in a year. That was 8-9 years ago. And for him to come out after getting swept saying, I think we were the better team, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm happy for guys like Jalen Brunson who just continue to prove people wrong every year. I think The Athletic last year put out an article where he said he's the problem because he's not good enough to be a number one. Now look at him. He led them in points. They're in the finals. Aulino could kind of go in more on the Dan Hewson curse being lifted and all that, but this is an eye opener for the Cavs because you go all this way. You face a really tough Toronto team. You beat the Pistons too, which is not an easy task just to get swept. I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Very nice, very evil Danhausen. Uncursed him. First, Stephen A. I thought he was cute on the panel there before WrestleMania, asking, who's this guy? Who brought him here? He cursed Stephen A. and his Knicks. They lost both games. And then all of a sudden, Stephen A. starts going, whoa, I know who you are now. Can you uncurse this team, please? And he did that. So it's a coincidence, too. Jalen Brunson's a big WWE fan. He's been on WWE with Halliburton in the past. They teased that angle. Acknowledges a tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and now he's going to the finals. So I've always been a big fan of Brunson when he was on the Mavs, him and Luka Doncic, those runs when they played Phoenix. So
what could have been there?
It's just now another loss from Dallas. You let Jalen Brunson go, you let Doncic go, what could have been. So happy for the Knicks because they've suffered. I think they deserved it.
They have suffered.
I think we need... depending on how the finals goes for the Knicks, I think we might need Danhausen to come here for the Leafs.
Oh, that
would be really nice.
I think we'd all love that.
Along with an exorcist and a fucking priest with holy water.
Yeah,
we need a lot here for that. But needless to say, I
don't know if the priest would go with him just based on how Danhausen looks. I don't know. He might have to do it on Danhausen.
and then we might never win at that point. No, I think it's awesome for the Knicks, the mecca of basketball, to finally get 1999 to think it's 2026. That's a long time. I thought it was cool when, after them winning, they had, some of their legends Clyde Drexler was there, Patrick Ewing, and then some of the more recent guys I think Latrell Sprewell was at the game. Who else was there? There were a bunch of guys that were at the game, but I think it was awesome to see. In a lot of ways, when the Knicks are doing well, it's something to be seen because when you're watching a Knicks game and they're at home, or even if they're on the road, the fans travel, and then when you see the celebrities and the status and level of them all coming together to support the Knicks. And it's like, no, we are New York. It's something crazy and something to be seen. And, it's kind of like when the Leafs have the celebrities show up to the games when they're doing well. It's like, oh, Mike Myers is in the crowd, or, Edge, or whoever it might be. There's always a plethora of famous people that support these fan bases. So it's cool to kind of see that whole fan base and community come together. We all know how insufferable that fan base is, though. Yeah. But people say the same about us as Leaf fans. So, we're kind of on the same level. But I think it's an awesome story seeing the boys from Villanova get to a NBA Finals. Brunson proving everybody wrong. Cat kind of rising to the occasion when everyone thought he was a problem, too. So, and even for Coach Mike Brown, good for him to get this team back to a Finals. It's really going to be interesting to see. But they don't know who they got yet. Now, OKC's up 3-2. Got a big game coming up. What are your guys' thoughts? If you're the Knicks, who do you want to play? But ultimately, who do you think they're going to play?
I think they're going to play OKC. I think going up 3-2 they got a death grip on it. I think Wemby has done all that he can. He's putting up monstrous stat lines, but I think it was last game. He kind of didn't have the greatest point game. His offense wasn't really there, but I just think they're going to be there for years to come. I just think right now, I want them to win, but I think the experience is showing. Say what you want about Gilgeous. I've seen a lot of people complain online that he just flops like a fish out there. If you're going to get the calls, ask LeBron in his heyday, ask Carmelo in his heyday. They got the calls. The stars always get the calls. He just won back-to-back MVP. I think if there's somehow they're going to win this series, the Spurs, they got to be mean. They got to be a lot more physical. And they need guys like De'Aaron Fox to just kind of do their job, be a leader, get some points. But the one guy that has really screwed with the Spurs is the guy that paints his nails. Jared McCain, I don't know what it is with this guy. I think the Sixers got rid of him way too soon. I don't know what they were thinking there. He started last game, and he looked like a problem. So they benched, I believe, Lou Dort for Game 5, and they won by 14. It was the most one-sided game out of all 5. I'm kind of rambling here. I say Thunder win. I think the final will be must-see. If it's Knicks and Thunder, that's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to probably see OKC and the Knicks, and that New York crowd's going to be hostile towards SGA.
Oh, yeah.
A good Canadian kid, but he's shown he can deal with it. I think the Spurs, if they can get past them, that's probably the most difficult matchup that they're going to run into in terms of styles and plays. So you can get past Wemby, it's going to give them a lot of confidence. So I still think OKC close it out, and then the Knicks, it's going to be a tough one, but I think they could get a couple wins against OKC to make it interesting, but I still lean towards OKC to repeat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to be the contrarian between the three of us, and I think Wemby, he's going to get it done. I think they're going to win in 7.
I hope so.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it, the clips. When Wemby subbed out of the last game and he whispered whatever he whispered to Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee, he whispered in their ear, and shortly after they subbed in, they both took 2 really hard fouls on McCain, really rough, hard fouls. So it's you know what? I think they have what it takes to deal with OKC, and the fact that they've, besides the 14-point loss, the games have been really close. So I think it's going to get back to an older school kind of basketball where the refs, I think, are going to put their whistles in their pockets, and we're going to see Game 7, and I think the Spurs will be able to pull it out in Game 7, and we're going to get a very early 2000s styled NBA final between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. And ultimately, I think the Knicks would be able to pull it out just because with the way Brunson's playing right now and the way that team collectively with Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, they got a guy that can get 20 or 30 points when the team's playing unselfishly and everyone's clicking every night. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm liking Knicks Spurs final. I am leaning towards the Knicks to win just because I think they're due. And I think they finally got the right coach running a system with this team, and it really works. So I'm excited to see the Knicks maybe finally get the job done. So it's gonna be hard to see because regardless of who they play coming out of the West, it's gonna be a dogfight. But it seems like there are a bunch of dogs in New York, minus Karl Anthony Towns with his little sus activities. But I'm excited for this final. It's kind of hard being excited for a final when the NBA Finals the last few years have been so either one-sided or very lackluster. So I know I'm excited. I think we all are looking forward to seeing either SGA go back-to-back or the Knicks finally getting done, or ultimately the alien Wemby finally showing everyone, no, I should have been the MVP, and this is going to be my league moving forward. So a lot at stake here for the NBA Finals, and we're going to be excited to see it. Who do you guys got for Finals MVP at this rate? I know we talked about it last week, but now that we know the Knicks are in.
It's Gilgeous for sure.
Gilgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah, SGA. But if the Knicks do, go back in history, it was Knicks Spurs the last time they went to the final. So the Knicks would be the ones to get their revenge on that and win it for those guys, and Brunson for sure.
Yeah, it's obvious.
I think
it's between three people, and we know who the three are.
Yeah, it's Wemby, Shea, or
Brunson.
I'm gonna ride with Brunson just because they're playing great basketball right now. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think if, again, just kind of before we move on, I think if you are the Knicks, you want to play. I think you want to play the Spurs. Because Wemby, we've seen, he can't, last night he shot 4 of 15. He can have an off night. You won't out-rebound him any night. But, if you can limit him to 20 points like he did last night, you could win the game. You could easily win 4 if you're the Knicks. Because, again, like you said, they're a collective unit. They have so many guys that can just go out there and ball. OKC, on the other hand, if they face the Knicks, which I think is going to happen, you basically have Brunson versus SGA, who can outscore one another. It could go either way any night. I just think when you look at the bench, I think OKC has a little bit more of a productive bench than the Knicks do.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. Actually, fun little question. Since there's always so many celebrities or athletes at these Knicks games, amongst all the celebrities that you either see on social media or when you're watching the games, who is your favorite celebrity that is a Knicks fan that you guys have seen, or whether you've seen them on social media, repping the team, or at the games, or when you're watching? Who's the one guy, if you're watching the Knicks this playoff run, that you're tuning in, you're like, I hope I see this guy?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I know there's a lot, but I mean, a lot of people would probably say Timothy Chalamet. If he's there, Kylie Jenner's there. There's Jason Sudeikis.
I was probably gonna say if I want to see someone, it's Kylie Jenner. So yeah, I'll go Kylie Jenner. But I know Ben Stiller's also a hardcore Knicks fan, so maybe him. Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
I'll go. Great movie.
I'll go with that, Ben Stiller. But you know what? I think the NBA deserves credit because in this age of Unreal on Netflix, podcast galore with WWE wrestlers, who would have thought it'd be the NBA keeping kayfabe alive with Danhausen in this curse? So I'll go with Danhausen for that.
I love that.
That's a really good shout. For me, I'm kind of torn between two people. And for me, it's between Tracy Morgan, just because he's at every fucking game and he's always hilarious to see.
Just don't throw up courtside again.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it's either between maybe Fat Joe or, Adam Sandler. But Adam Sandler, you barely see him at the games. So.
Who's the fan who's the fan that's always there? The black guy. He's always there.
It's Tracy Morgan.
No, he's
the director.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. Yes.
That's the guy.
That's the right answer.
That's
sorry.
a super fan.
That's the super fan.
Spike Lee is the right answer. So
he is the right.
I mean, I've seen some of his outfits that he's had just in the regular season, but even now, like, he pulls stuff out and you're like,
Dude, relax.
Only you would have that. Only you would have it. He's like, well, I'm fucking Spike Lee. So, needless to say, it's going to be exciting. Congratulations to the New York Knicks, the fan base. Congratulations to Stephen A. and all the famous celebrities and fans in New York to enjoy an NBA Finals. Hopefully it goes your way because we can all agree it's long overdue.
Yes, definitely.
But speaking for something that feels like it's been long overdue, especially at this point of the year, it's almost time for the Stanley Cup Finals. And I think it's crazy that we had a sweep completed last night. I was not very happy. You could ask Chris. I was very upset.
Yeah.
We both said to each other, there's only one guy that we know in this world that's probably pretty happy, and it's this guy that's sitting here at the table with us, Aulino.
I love when you texted right away.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I did that right at the same time.
My boy's
He's my boy's going for the cup. Unbelievable.
His post win
Oh,
interview.
It was so
Holy
bad.
cow,
No, it was so bad. So bad. Congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights on sweeping the President's Trophy Colorado Avalanche and punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. Needless to say, it feels like they're going to have to wait forever with the way this Montreal Canadiens and Carolina Hurricanes series is going, because Montreal seems too content to shoot under 15.5 shots a game, and they think they're going to win. And Carolina seems to be struggling, and they're shooting on average.
Their shooting percentage is like 3%.
Yeah, like it's criminal. So it's going to feel like a long time coming once the Stanley Cup Final is finally decided. But needless to say, we're here for that, and we're excited for it. Aulino, we're going to hand it on over to you. What went right and what has only been going right, it seems, for Mitch?
What was the vision that you
like-
saw?
Like
Long time ago.
long time. Like, the floor is yours. Talk to us about Mitch and the success it seems like.
Why
he
are the
has
Leafs
found.
so stupid?
And why is it that the Leafs always get it wrong?
Well, it all started 11 years ago. Phil the Thrill. Remember? Horrible work ethic. Guy can't win. Can't win with Phil the Thrill. He's a locker room cancer. Gets a coach fired. He can't be the guy. Well, he gets traded to Pittsburgh. They retain $1 million in salary because why not? They're the Leafs. Perfectly smart decisions to make in that organization. And Phil goes on to Pittsburgh, and he proves exactly what he is, the guy. He challenges Crosby and Malkin to be better, mostly Malkin because he was playing on their line, and it brought the best out of Malkin. He got robbed out of a Conn Smythe.
Robbed, exactly.
And, back-to-back cups. And then all of a sudden, the years go by, and we see this nice little young player in Mitch Marner in Toronto. The new era under the regime there, the Shanna plan. He was Mark Hunter's boy in London. He drafted him over some of the other studs that were available.
It's a pretty good draft that year.
And now playing with the guy that went right after him.
Exactly. Yeah. And now that's a guy over the years was handed the reins of the Leafs. And then all of a sudden along the way, he started becoming the scapegoat. Oh, Mitch, just sulking on the bench. He's a baby. He's this. He's not like Willie. He's not like Austin. And then all of a sudden, he gets traded. He gets not traded. What am I saying? Tampered contract facilitates a trade. And then all of a sudden, his charity event gets canceled. Everybody reads between the lines there. And throughout the season, we have to hear this whole narrative. Mitch being mad at Toronto. He barely does an interview. He finally discusses it. And then all of a sudden, we get John Tortorella in the mix. Just, it's going to be a Mike Babcock 2.0, but not for Mitch. He embraces challenges, unlike some of the other guys, the dark moments of his career.
That was so bad.
And then they go on this run, and all of a sudden, Mitch is a point-per-game player in the playoffs. We didn't see that in Toronto at all.
For 9 years.
9 years he was here. We didn't see that. All of a sudden, John Tortorella knows what buttons to push, and he pushed every single one. He's just there. He doesn't know how to turn off the off switch because he's gone after this. So Mitch is going to win a Conn Smythe, it looks like right now, and happy for him. My boy, Mitch Marner.
Time to go to bed. That was a great bedtime story.
It was. Fuck. Chris,
If you're the Leafs, it's just Aulino just explained it. This is not the first time it's happened with Phil. It's happened with Kadri.
Yeah,
it's happened with so many Leafs. Even Bozak gets traded mid-season. He writes a letter to the city. Yeah. He wins with the Blues right away.
Thomas Caberlet
with the Bruins. There's just so many instances where a Leaf player gets traded, being called the scapegoat, not good enough, you're washed, and they win a cup. They learn their role, they adapt, and they conquer challenges. Mitch Marner, I gotta say, there has not been a time where I've ever been shocked with Mitch. I always knew he had it in him. But what I've seen this playoffs, I'm in shock. Because the whole time he was in Toronto he's competing with Matthews. I want to be the guy, but Matthews is the guy here. Marner goes to Vegas. He knows he's not the guy. He knows he's not. You got Eichel, Stone, you got all these other guys that are, they're captains. They also already won a Stanley Cup. He adapts, and not only does he make every player he's played with better, he now leads the playoffs in points. And yes, he did have 6 or 7 points in the 4 games against Colorado. So last week we were arguing this is his biggest challenge. He's faced Utah and Anaheim. He did it. He conquered, and now he's in the Stanley Cup final. Now, last night, his interview, I have a little bit of a problem with it because the whole narrative with Marner and Matthews and Willie, maybe not Willie as much because he just has the freaking attention span of a cat. Like, he just doesn't give a shit, I don't think. Matthews and Marner, all they cared about is the outside noise. And to this day, last night, Marner says, I've had dark times. Dude, just stop thinking about it. You're just enjoy the moment. You've been the best player on your team. It's a run. This is a run I don't know Marner will ever go on again. He's in the finals. Now you got to be patient, and you got to do the hardest thing you've had to do all playoff. You have to wait now. You wait and see who you play. It's probably Carolina. This is going to be a physical test for Marner. We all know how he deals with physicality, not the best. But Tortorella, like you mentioned, he's pushed all the right buttons. But my main thing here, guys, he's the Conn Smythe favorite, not only because he's leading the team, he's made Brett Howden a freaking lethal goal scorer. So Marner thinks the game ahead better than almost anybody on the ice. Hopefully that's what Gavin McKenna can do with the Leafs. But, man, you got to give Mitch credit. Aulino's boy, Mitch Marner.
I mean, he's proven everybody. It's not that he's proving everybody necessarily wrong. Everybody knew what he was capable of. And the problem was when he had the privilege of playing in the market that he had probably always wanted to play in, that most kids dream of playing in. He had the privilege and the pressure of playing in this market. He fucked it up so many different times when he was considerably given the benefit of doubt numerous times.
More than
most people are given credit for. And in part, that was probably because between the media and the organization protecting them and calling them the core four for a whole decade, and before they finally realized enough is enough. Hindsight will always be 20/20. You could always look back in the past and realize things that he'll probably look back on when whether it's at the end of this season when it's all over and say he has won the Conn Smythe and they win the Stanley Cup. He'll look back on his time at Toronto and realize, you know what? I was young. I was stupid. I made a lot of dumb decisions, but you know what? I'm better now for it. And that's a part of life. I think the thing that is really unfortunate is the fact that this guy has the audacity to constantly reflect on the really dark times that he had here in Toronto when he was here in Toronto, he was given everything and every opportunity to succeed. He was given the money he always asked for. He was given the roles he was always asked for. The only thing he probably wanted but never was actually given because he wasn't picked to be the guy was the captaincy. And the sad reality is there's two sad realities. One, he was never going to be the captain off rip. He never was.
No.
And I think he really thought that he could be. Not to say he's not a leader. It's just in this market, he wasn't going to be the captain. Then towards the very end, once he realized he was done, he made himself look like an absolute clown by showing how much he cared when it was not the right time to show that he cared.
When we were losing 6-0.
When it's your last game 7 in a Maple Leafs uniform and you're throwing water bottles, you're breaking your stick, you're shouting at guys at the end of the bench, and you're looking like a kid that's having a shit fit playing minor Bantam AAA hockey who's about to lose in front of a bunch of scouts, knowing that it's probably going to affect your draft status or whatever it is. You know, we all know he's a great hockey player, one of the best playmakers in the league.
One of the best two-way players.
One of the best. Like, it's not even close. And the other sad reality of it is the fact that how poorly the Toronto Maple Leafs are ran. Organizationally.
It's terrible.
When you look at, like, people always, for the whole decade, it's the culture. It's the culture. Yeah. It's the culture.
Culture's the suits.
Well, guess what? Look at the culture that Kelly McCrimmon and co. have in Vegas and look at all the success they've had. There's a reason why they're going to their third Stanley Cup in 9 years.
It's bullshit.
Well, yeah.
That makes me sick
As
hearing
that.
But the thing is, there was something I saw last night after the game. I think it was NHL Network on Instagram or TNT. They broke down how they acquired all these guys on this team.
Yeah, trades.
Only 2 guys were drafted. 4 guys, I think, were free agents, and everyone else was via trade. So when you talk about, like, okay, having a winning culture and buying in and wanting to win, top down, they have that. And how do you go about obtaining that? By doing whatever it means to fucking win. So
they're relentless. The whole narrative of Vegas's whole tenor as a franchise is they're just relentless.
Yeah, and they'll do whatever it takes to win.
You traded Nick Suzuki. Well, people forget he got drafted by Vegas.
Yeah, they fired their coach with 8 games left.
Yeah, and they're in the final. Like, it just doesn't. So these things don't add up, but yet here they are.
Yeah, I think though I was saying this to Chris.
They've only gotten better as the playoffs have gone on.
Yeah, I was saying this to Chris the other night after they lost. No,
they haven't lost in like
they haven't
3
lost.
weeks, man. It's been a while.
It was after game 2. I was saying this to Chris. I said to him, I was like, the only reason why I truly think Vegas went and hired Tortorella, and we don't know any inside information. This is just what I'm thinking in terms of the team dynamic and how things have changed and shifted. That last month of the season where they were floundering almost out of the playoffs, they realized something. And I think what it might have been was Cassidy lost the room, the message went dull, and the last thing that management wanted was for them to have the narrative where they went with the big swing. They went and got Mitch Marner, the guy that is supposed to be the perennial 200-foot player that's going to help them get that next step and get to a Stanley Cup final. They didn't want their season to be a failure, so they did whatever they could to give the team that extra push. And who's the one guy that everyone knows in the league that's known for pushing the buttons, like you alluded to? It's John Tortorella. He had nothing to lose, everything to gain. We all know he's a great coach, whether he's had good moments or bad moments in the league. Needless to say, he's done everything right, and it's worked, like without a shadow of a doubt. And he pushed through. He is the only guy, I think, that was able to get through to Mitch Marner in his entire professional career to teach him and get him to hone and accept accountability.
Probably, yeah. I think Mitch Marner is the only... Like, there's a guy out there that he's very similar to Mitch Marner, but I think, like, he's done it all. And, you already know where I'm going. I think Patrick Kane. If there's no Jonathan Taves with Patrick Kane, I think Patrick Kane is literally Mitch Marner. Like, if you think of the way that Patrick Kane was, it's like, man, like his post-game stuff was never good. He was never a honed, like, good media guy, Patrick Kane, never. But when it came to the games and when it came to guys like, again, like you talk about accountability, like Taves and Quenneville, they probably sat down with Kane a couple times and said, listen, like, we need you to just score. We don't need you to do anything else. You're not going to be good defensively. You're not going to fight. You're just going to go out there and you're going to score because you're our best skilled player. Mitch Marner, yeah, he is a good defensive player. They had him fucking playing center for 60% of the year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's another reason why I think Cassidy got fired. I don't think he knew what the hell to do with Marner.
And that's another good point too.
Like, why is this guy playing center?
He hasn't played there since June.
Yeah, like it just didn't make any sense. And then the fact that, like, this guy's making the fact that now you have Howden, Carlson, and Marner on a line, all three can play center, and they've all just the chemistry there.
It's the perfect line though. When you think of what each of those guys have in terms of their tangible and intangible abilities to what they bring to their game, their own games of hockey, it's the perfect line for Mitch Marner. And the one thing that not just the media, but a lot of hockey people have talked about with seeing the success that Mitch Marner has had with Vegas in this playoff run is he hasn't had to do every single fucking thing that Toronto required him of. Where it's like, okay, Mitch, you're going to start the play, you're going to pick up the puck, you're going to create the space. Then you're going to give it to Austin Matthews, he's going to put it in the net. Oh, but if he loses the puck, you have to go get the puck. And then you have to make the outlet pass. And then you got to make the last pass before it goes to the goal scorer to get in the net. So it's like they're allowing Mitch to do what Mitch does best, and that is create space while having guys get the puck for him so then he can create the space to get everyone else in front of the net or in the right lanes to get to the net to have scoring opportunities. For us, unfortunately, we made him every single dimension of what our offense had to be. Now, sure, did it pay off for a couple of years? Yeah, we saw Austin Matthews score 69 goals. We had very little, unfortunately, playoff success, but we got to see how dominant he is in his aspect of his game when he's unleashed to his full potential. Imagine if he's playing with Jack Eichel on a more regular basis and a better winger. It's going to be unbelievable to see what they can put together for the remainder of him being there.
I mean, you can't. I think the one thing too people forget, even last year, I'll never forget the game 3, or was it game 4? I remember 2 years ago when we were facing elimination. It was 3-0 Florida, and I remember Marner went into Florida, and was by far the best player on the ice. He was hitting, he was stripping guys off the puck. I think he got a goal and an assist. Mm-hmm. You just look at some games in his playoff catalog, obviously all we remember is them losing. But there have been moments where it's like, dude, you're easily our best player. Just do what you just did. I don't think Matthews is on the same level as Marner when Marner's going 100% full tilt. That might be a hot take, and people might come at me for that. But it's true. Look what he's doing right now. Well, it's not like he's on a line with Eichel and Stone. He's with Howden and Carlson.
But those guys complement the aspect of his game that makes him one of the best players at what he does in the league.
I know, but the casuals would say, oh, he's got Eichel and Stone and Dorofeyev had 40. It's yeah, but he's not playing with them.
And Torts knows how to Big Bill Carlson over there. Torts knows him well from Columbus.
I am so happy that Carlson is
You're
back.
Happy for a Vegas player. Wow.
Well, no, because he was hurt and he was gone for a long time, and not a lot of people were sure what was going to happen to him. Yeah. So I was happy to see him come back, and
I love those luscious, the luscious locks. I love it. The flow.
But the job's not done though for Mitchie.
No, and you're right. You are right. The job isn't done. He still has to prove to the hockey world or to the Leafs world that if they do get Carolina, and if the series is going to be more physical than what this Colorado one was, which it wasn't anywhere near what it could have been because unfortunately, Colorado caught the injury bug at the wrong fucking time.
Oh, yeah. Worst time.
And the goaltending kind of laid an egg for them.
Not last night, but they still lost.
But needless to say, like, injuries at the wrong time, and ultimately it costed Colorado this. Like, honestly, it costed them this series because they looked dead in the water last night. Like, it was brutal watching that last night.
Yeah, I mean, there was no luck on their side at all. Like, Taves with
that was bad.
with that penalty right after the Nikas injury, and then Landeskog with the cross check, and it's like you just can't catch a break. But I guess we'll just we'll talk about this in our picks. I guess we'll do the World Cup next week.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about who we like for the World Cup. We're going to talk about some favorites, some dark horses, who's going to score all the goals.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be England all the way. It's coming home. But no, just...
Oh, man.
Well, it's not Italy.
It's
that's
a joke.
For sure.
It's a joke. It's a joke. England never fucking wins anything. But
be careful what you wish for.
Going back to Mitch Marner, and we're going to talk about obviously Carolina and Montreal tonight, and the series. I'll ask you, Aulino, because Mitch is your boy.
Oh yeah.
If you are Vegas and you're now obviously they have time to do the sit downs, the research, watch the game footage. Do you want to play Carolina or do you want to play Montreal? Because I know Marner loves slowing the game down in his head. Carolina is the definition of slowing games down, clogging the neutral zone, and hitting you. Whereas Montreal, it seems like they're just counterattack. Basically, I'm going to answer the question for you, but you can disagree with me. I think they want to play Montreal because if they play Montreal, they're going to pick them apart. Is it safe to say?
I think it is safe to say because also, too, in the mind of Mitch Marner, what would really elevate this?
They beat the Habs.
The Habs. I think it has to be the Habs. Bell Center, how they have the torch come out and all the legends. Biggest market for them, how they consider it. That's a mecca of hockey in Canada.
Yeah, no, it is.
It
It absolutely is.
Yeah, they deserve that label, all the Stanley Cups. So what would really hide in it? And I'm thinking of the ego here. It has to be Montreal. If it's Carolina, it'd be like, Carolina cares, right? But you do it to Montreal in Bell Center in 2 languages. Never mind 1. We got fucking English and French. They'll hate your guts. This is going to be an incredible run when they put the documentary up. I'm just like, when the thing's done, the job's not done, but there's more to come on this one on Mitchie. There's a whole new story time that we'll do there. But
can't wait for story time.
With John Tortorella, though, what I think this is a good comparable to, it's like Grand Theft Auto. He joins in. He got busted in Philly.
Oh, big time.
He goes to ESPN. Gets fucking 5 stars, gets back to normal. Comes to Vegas. This guy's got the fucking cheat code for activating all the weapons without going to get it. And then every round, the stars are at 5. He puts the cheat in. With too much heat on us. Put it down. Get the invincibility in the conference final for 5 minutes. And now they're in the final, all rested. So GTA Torts is coming in for a cup. And his value after this, I'm not re-signing anything if I'm him. He's in his 60s. Get the bag, and then set yourself up because I don't think he should re-sign it. He should evaluate and explore the free agent market.
GTA Torts.
That was good. Speaking of coaches and thinking about getting a bag or waiting it out or seeing what's up, what do you think is going to happen with Jared Bednar? Because I know there's a lot of people are talking that we've had a nice run. Thanks, but we got swept. Yeah, we had some injuries, but thanks, buddy, you're done. If that is the case, is it safe to say that that Colorado will just go get Denver's coach?
Yeah.
And the Leafs will lose out on those sweepstakes. And maybe, who knows, maybe Torts will get a bag and come to Toronto and wake up his boy that he won a gold medal with in the Olympics, Austin Matthews, and turn him into a monster. I think that'd be awesome. Mind you, Aulino and we've been wanting Torts to be the Leafs coach for quite some time.
That would get heat too, yeah, from some fans, but who gives a shit?
Ultimately, what do you guys think is going to happen?
I think Bednar stays another year.
You think Bednar stays another year? And if Torts is going to leave, hypothetically,
Edmonton or Toronto.
Edmonton or Toronto.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to stay put. What
Yeah.
about Tampa? What?
No, Cooper's staying. They're insane if they let him go.
Did they say, is this contract up, Cooper? Like
No, I think he's got 2 more years.
He's got 2 or 1. He's got 2 or 1.
They might wait then. Before.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Well, because no,
Like he was just coach of Canada. Like
they'll probably, if they do make a change, it'll probably be like somewhere in the middle of next season.
Well, they haven't got out of the first round in 4 years.
Yeah,
it's tough because like the Atlantic is hard, and they're an aging core, and they've won with him too. So you can't just kick him to the curb. Thanks for the cups. Get out of here.
I'm just making it a point and a note of it where it's like in a year where there's been so much hostility and so many changes amongst big markets or even successful markets with their coaches. It kind of begs the question of who could be next in the event the shoe drops and it's time for them to move on, because we've seen how quick some of these teams have changed, whether it's aging cores or coaches' philosophies just not being able to land anymore. Well, so anything could happen, and it's not.
I mean, it's always easy to blame the coach, but you got to have like harsh talks with like Kucherov and how he's performed in the playoffs. He's been pretty bad. Braden Point had a shit year. Hedman, you don't know what the hell he's doing.
They've had injuries too.
I know, but like Kucherov, like I think since the Leafs series, like when we eliminated them, like he hasn't been good in the playoffs compared to regular season. 150 points, like, but playoffs, I don't know what happens, but we're kind of going on here. I think Carolina wins. I think Aulino might have it like dead on because you did say long 5, and it's been a long 3.
Yeah. It's about to get on even longer if they go.
So, well, here's a question I have for you, because I said this to Chris the other night, and I think it makes perfect sense. And like we gave him his flowers today, Mitch. No, like in all seriousness, I said this to Chris, and Chris kind of looked at me like, "Why the fuck are you saying this?" I'm like, "No, it's true." I think the way Mitch Marner has played this postseason, whether in winning or losing fashion, depending on how bad, obviously, the losing fashion is and how he plays, he might still win the Conn Smythe if they lose.
No, I hate it when they did it with McDavid.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, he's had that kind of a playoff where, in the event, say they lose in 7 games to Carolina, and he still has an unbelievable series like he just has had throughout the playoffs, and they lose in overtime, and they don't get the puck luck, and he still leads the playoffs. It's kind of hard for them to not give it to him.
I don't think so.
No.
If they lose, I don't think so. Just because you have 2 names for sure. Like Dobish would win it for Montreal, and probably Stankoven or Anderson. Carolina, it's more kind of out there. Like you kind of don't know, but it's Dobish for Montreal easily.
I mean, yeah, for him
or Lane Hudson. It's one of the 2.
Or Alex, unless it's Alex Newhook.
Like Marner would have to probably have like what McDavid did. What do you do? Like 14 and
42
7?
Points.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
42 points.
He's more than halfway there.
Yeah. So
he's halfway.
You're averaging more than a point, maybe a point and a half, 2 points.
He's at what, 21 in like 15 16 games? So that's great.
But 15 points, and then
we can agree. We can agree though. No matter who they play, he's the most important player. Period. Like in the Stanley Cup final, he's the most important player. In terms of the team success,
might be pushing it a bit, but I see what you're saying. I still think it's Jack Eichel, but we'll see. Okay. Skorofeyev.
But even Torts though, I was thinking about it too. Like New Jersey, if Sheldon Keefe gets let go, you got the golden boy and Jack Hughes,
golden boy there.
His brother, and then his other brother Quinn coming maybe. I think that would be a situation he might leave Vegas for if the opportunity.
You know where he would if it wouldn't happen. If Billy Guerin called him up, he's like, "You want to come and coach Minnesota?"
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Like in a heartbeat. Like,
well, I do think they're going to tamper anyway with Jack and Quinn. Like they're going to be teammates one day. If it's next year, it's going to happen.
So before we get into our picks, I I just want to do Conn Smythe predictions and our finals predictions because, you alluded to it being Montreal and Vegas. Yeah. Chris, who are you thinking?
I think it's Carolina, Vegas. I think they've just shut down Montreal completely, unless tonight is the beginning of they change their game plan and they start peppering shots, but you can't be averaging like 12, 13 shots a game and expect to win. So it's a great run with Dobesh. Like he's looking like Halak and Price, but I think Carolina just has this system going right now, and they're hard to beat. So give me Carolina, Vegas.
So I am as well going Carolina, Vegas. And with that being said, Conn Smythes. Who's winning the Conn Smythe?
I'm gonna go Carolina winning the cup. I know it's not. It's definitely like I'm still kind of not really sold on it. My mind might change after tonight's game, but I say Carolina wins. It's been a hell of a story. Give me Stankoven to win the Conn Smythe. We talk about that trade, like time and time again with the Rantanen trade. Like you kind of don't know what you're getting out of Stankoven. You had him 2 years ago when we did the pod here, winning the Calder. Didn't happen, but it's kind of all coming together now. He has 7 goals in 9 games. Like he's been easily their most important goal scorer. I think it's Stankoven. I would have said Anderson, but he's been shaky recently.
Aulino?
Yeah. Marner for Vegas and Montreal Dobish, but he brought that up, the trade. I totally forgot about that too. The vetoed trade. So there's another narrative, but it's still Carolina. But just imagine after he wins the cup, Mitch, just to be an asshole, if he wants to really rub it in and really lean into it, I would do it just to be a bad guy. Hey, Carolina, this is why I don't want to come to Carolina. Holds up the cup. That's I think it's him or Dobish.
It's actually hilarious because both teams that Marner's could be facing, he has he has ties with.
Yeah. So for me, Carolina, Vegas. I'm thinking I really do think Carolina is going to win. So if Carolina wins, I'm going Frederik Andersen, and if Vegas wins, it'll be Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
And the whole reason why I obviously want Vegas and Vegas to lose, I want Vegas to lose is because I want the former Leaf narrative to continue with Frederik Andersen, not with Mitch Marner.
Another guy that they let go because they couldn't win with.
Yeah. So
it's hilarious.
I would love to see Frederik Andersen lift the Conn Smythe and lift the Stanley Cup because I know he's fucking played unbelievable when he was with the Leafs and even when he left, and he is quite deserving of it. I mean, a lot of guys are on that team, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Vegas is going to have a long wait, it looks like, so they can rest up, do their homework, and we'll see when the Stanley Cup starts.
I think Yager's streak continues because of Rasmus Andersen?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes. Rasmus Andersen, but also there's somebody I think on Carolina that he played with too. I can't remember the player off the top of my head, but it is somebody. So his streak will continue in that regard. We don't have any light the lamp picks for you guys this week, but we do have our picks that will be in the mix. And then once those are done, we're going to get out of here so we can watch this Carolina and Montreal game. Guys, if it's totally up to you if you want to recap your picks, considering we are getting close to game time, and I know we all want to watch the game.
I'll just be quick. 1-3.
Okay.
I was dead wrong with the Cavs. I took the 6.5 on the spread. They lost by 16, and I took Mobley over 15.5 because I thought he'd get the usage bump. He finished with 14. I think I took the under in the Habs game, and that was the game where it was 6-5 or it was a. Wait, no, what was it? I'm trying to remember that game. It doesn't matter. It lost. The only one that hit for me was the Angels plus a half for the fifth inning. So, 1-3.
I think I went 2-2, I think. I had the Hurricanes over the Flyers. That hit. Avalanche over the Wild over 6.5. I think that hit as well.
Yeah, I took the under in game 1 when it was 3-2 after the first period. It's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I went 2-0 because the other two I picked were for a UFC fight card this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about our picks this week. Chris or Aulino, whoever wants to lead it off, talk to us about the picks that will be in the mix for this week.
I'll start. I got 2 plays for the Thunder Spurs. I got Caruso over 15.5 PRA. I think this guy has done a tremendous job guarding Wemby. He gets rebounds, assists. Sometimes he gets hot from three. I think they're going to give him some looks because, SGA is probably going to be getting fouls. And, they might want to rest him if they do go down for a Game 7. So give me Caruso over 15.5 points, rebounds, assists at -115. I have De'Aaron Fox as well over 9.5 assists and rebounds. I think Castle is starting to get a little tired, doesn't have the experience De'Aaron Fox does. They're going to probably lean in with him, I think, a little more to be a playmaker. So that's at -120. My third play, big game this weekend, man. Champions League, we got PSG and Arsenal. It's funny, they get rid of Mbappe, and I think they're going to go back-to-back. Give me PSG on the money line. I love the value on both sides. You're getting plus money there. PSG, I think they're the better team, plus 130. Arsenal might be a little drunk still from winning the Prem. So, and then my fourth and final play, you can't really single it, but it's Ludwig Auberg to finish in the top 20 at the Charles Schwab Challenge. He's -200 there. So put that all together in a parlay, it's plus 1,004.
Not too shabby. Still some value and some juice considering this time of year, especially at least this week, there's not that much to go off on these picks. Aulino, talk to us about what you got in the mix for this week's picks.
Yeah, so I'm going on the field for 3 of them and then the octagon for 1. I'll start off with the UFC. Kaya Sakura, it's my pick from last week. So the number now is -280. He's taking it on Cameron Smotherman. His back is against the wall. He's a guy that they have a lot of high hopes for. He's a big star in Japan, so I think he really needs a win. I think he gets back on track here. Then in soccer, I agree with you, Chris. PSG and Arsenal. If PSG's at plus money 130, you got to take them. It's crazy. The last decade, they had a Serie A all-star team, they couldn't get it done. Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, they couldn't get it done. And now with these guys, Dembele, they're gonna go back to back. So
the scraps.
I got PSG, and then I'm going the Canadian Premier League. Inter Toronto hasn't failed me really yet. I've had some good results with them. They're taking on Supra Quebec. They're on the road, but plus 100. Inter Toronto's at the top of the table, looking great. So I think they continue that. And my final play, Halifax at home against Vancouver FC. Both teams have kind of struggled, but I think Halifax at home is a different animal. They're the best fans, I think, in the CPL. So I think they win it. They're plus 115 at home. You put it all together on Bet365, plus 1242.
Wow, you guys have picks that are providing juice. Mine feels like it's a fucking slump buster. I mean, it still has juice, but nowhere near as much as you guys. So for me this week, we got a lot of money line picks just because there's not much to really go about this week. Needless to say, we're going to get into it. Starting off with the biggest favorite, I'm going with the San Antonio Spurs on the money line against Oklahoma City tomorrow night at -162. They're not done. They're going to take it to 7. They're at home. They're going to play physical. The refs are going to put the whistles in the pockets, like I said earlier, and I think they're just going to will and power through and get the job done. Next, we're going to the Champions League with you guys as well. Crazy that you guys at Bet365 have it at plus money. On FanDuel, I got PSG to lift the cup at -136.
That's why you have it on.
You have lift the cup. We have just money line.
Yeah. So I got them to lift the cup. I think they'll get the job done. They're too drunk after winning the Prem. It's been too long. I mean, if they win, it'll be a great story for them to pull off a historic double.
That is a historic double.
But at the end of the day,
it
remains to be seen because they celebrated hard. I don't know if you guys saw some of the scenes.
I did.
It was quite the scene in London to see the Gooners win. Moving on to baseball, I'm going with the Chicago White Sox on the money line at -116 against the Minnesota Twins. I think Muñeca Murakami is going to hit some bombs. Jake Berger and the boys, they're going to get the job done. And last but not least, I'm going with the faithful Toronto Blue Jays against the Baltimore Orioles on the money line at +106. The Jays have won some big games. They've been winning a couple series now, and they're getting back in their rhythm. I think them going up against Chris Bassett tomorrow night, they're going to knock him around, and they're going to make him pay in that ballpark. That's a hitter-friendly ballpark in Baltimore, and they're going to get a nice dub. You put all these 4 together in FanDuel on a 4-leg parlay. We're looking at +976. Needless to say, guys, bringing you guys some value with some favorites and some guys that are dogs. We're always trying to give you guys variety and options, whether it's a jam-packed slate or a little bit of a skeleton slate like we're seeing at this time of year. We want to thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. If you did watch all the way to the end, you liked what you saw, make sure you click the subscribe button, follow us on social media, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere else you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio. And until next week, guys, peace.